Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: it could be a vast source of clean energy, buried deep underground. Florida GOP chairman under fire as more details emerge in rape inquiry. Plan to add teaching of Holocaust, genocide to science education draws questions from Maine teachers. Economists predict U.S. inflation will keep cooling and the economy can avoid a recession. In the Amazon, indigenous women bring a tiny tribe back from the brink of extinction. It could be a vast source of clean energy, buried deep underground. New York Times. Scientists in Lorraine, a former coal mining region near the French-German border, have uncovered one of the largest deposits of white hydrogen, a clean-burning fuel, anywhere in the world. The discovery has added to the growing number of clues suggesting there is a significant source of clean energy available in the earth. Governments and companies are increasingly using hydrogen as a cornerstone in the fight against climate change. However, making commercial hydrogen requires splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen, a process that requires energy. If fossil fuels are used, this results in greenhouse gas emissions. Green hydrogen is cleaner, but more expensive. Natural hydrogen, also known as white hydrogen, is a potential source of clean energy that is continuously generated by the Earth. Hydrogen reservoirs form when heated water meets iron-rich rocks. Just a small fraction of these deposits could provide enough clean energy for hundreds of years. Florida GOP chairman under fire as more details emerge in rape inquiry. Washington Post. Florida Republican Party chairman Christian Ziegler is under investigation by Sarasota police following allegations of a rape that occurred during a three-way sexual encounter with his wife. Police have obtained messages between Ziegler and the woman, who canceled the encounter when she learned that Bridget Ziegler would not be joining. The woman alleged that Ziegler then showed up at her apartment uninvited and raped her. Ziegler claimed the encounter was consensual, and that he had video recorded it, but police have been unable to locate the video. The woman reported the rape 2 days after the encounter, and a rape kit was completed. Ziegler's attorney has denied the allegations. In a 911 call 2 days after the assault, a friend of the woman reported that she had not been to work and that she had sounded drunk and slurring her words. The friend also reported that the woman had said she was scared to leave her house. Plan to add teaching of Holocaust, genocide to science education draws questions from Maine teachers. Associated Press. Educators in Maine are skeptical about a state proposal to include teaching about genocide, eugenics, and the Holocaust in middle school science education. While critics acknowledge that the proposal stems from good intentions, they argue that the subjects are sensitive and nuanced, and that the science curriculum should focus on conventional scientific principles. The Maine Science Teachers Association argues that teachers need more training before introducing such topics. The state's Department of Education will ultimately decide whether to include the proposed updates in the science curriculum. Economists predict U.S. inflation will keep cooling and the economy can avoid a recession. Associated Press. A new survey of economists conducted by the National Association for Business Economics, NABE, suggests that most economists do not believe the U.S. economy will enter into a recession in 2024. Only 24% of the 38 surveyed economists predicted a recession was likely. The survey findings suggest that economists believe the Federal Reserve can successfully slow economic growth through high interest rates to control inflation, without completely stifling the economy. The survey also found that most economists expect the unemployment rate to increase, but not exceed 5%. In the Amazon, indigenous women bring a tiny tribe back from the brink of extinction. The Toronto Star. The Juma people, an indigenous tribe in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, are making a comeback against all odds. In the late 1990s, the Juma were on the verge of disappearance, with only 3 sisters and their father remaining. However, the sisters, Mandii, Borea, and Maida, along with their father Aruka, decided to fight for the survival of their people. Mandii became the first woman to become a chief in the Juma tribe and has been leading her people for over a decade. The Juma are now thriving in their territory, with a village full of life and activities. However, they face threats from land grabbing, illegal deforestation, and the planned paving of a highway near their territory. The Juma are taking measures to protect their land and way of life, including patrolling the territory by boat and using drones to monitor against loggers, poachers, and fishermen. Despite their recent achievements, Mandii is concerned about the future of the Juma and the passing down of their culture to future generations. Don't roll your eyes, looking the part could land you that job. Wall Street Journal. A new study from Harvard Business School has found that having certain physical features or accessories can boost a candidate's chances of being hired. The researchers analyzed 63,000 job openings and over 160,000 freelancers who applied for them over a 6-month period. They found that men wearing glasses and with a computer visible in their photo were more likely to be perceived as a better fit for a software programming assignment than those without glasses, while a beard also gave them a slight edge. For design and media-related jobs, a smile and a high-quality photo were important. Women with reading glasses and an artistic look were seen as a better fit for graphic design jobs. The research also found that certain photo features could tilt the selection process when profiles had equally high ratings from previous clients, and the advantage could be roughly the equivalent of a 5% pay differential. The study suggests that paying attention to the details of a profile photo can go a long way in the hiring process. Britain's crumbling schools are to blame for the dumbing down of workplace leadership. Telegraph. Leadership has become so dumbed down that some bosses are being handed 40-page documents telling them how to answer a question. Beijing is winning hearts and minds. Australia needs to get real in the Pacific. The Sydney Morning Herald. China is increasing its influence in the Pacific region by offering aid and investment to countries like the Solomon Islands. The Chinese government is funding infrastructure projects, such as stadiums and roads, in exchange for political support and diplomatic recognition. This approach has been successful in the Solomon Islands, where locals have welcomed the development and view China as a valuable ally. In contrast, Australia's influence in the region is diminishing, with its aid programs seen as abstract and less visible than China's investments. Number 10 Penn State will play number 11 Ole Miss in Peach Bowl on December 30th, updated. Yahoo! Penn State will be making its 5th appearance in an 8-year period in a New Year's Six Bowl, taking on Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl. The game is set for noon on December 30th at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and will be broadcast on ESPN. This will be the first time that Penn State has played in the Peach Bowl, and the first time that they will face the Rebels. What Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh said about facing each other in Rose Bowl. Yahoo! The college football playoff matchups are set, and Nick Saban and the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide will be facing Jim Harbaugh and the number 1 Michigan Wolverines in the semifinals in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California on New Year's Day. Alabama's berth in the CFP created a ton of controversy on Sunday, but considering the Crimson Tide's complete body of work, it is more than clear that Saban and Alabama are among the 4 best teams in the country. On Sunday following the selection announcement, both Saban and Harbaugh would give their early thoughts on facing one another in the national semifinals. 5 quick hits, shocking sideline leg break and attack on head of security in Week 13 of NFL. ABC. The NFL experienced some dramatic moments in Week 13, including a sideline worker being seriously injured in a collision with New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara. The worker's leg was broken, and Kamara stood helplessly by as he was carted off the field. Additionally, San Francisco 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw was sent off for punching the Philadelphia Eagles head of security in the face during a sideline altercation. The 49ers ultimately won the game 42-19. In college football news, the Florida State Seminoles were controversially left out of the college football playoff despite going undefeated and winning their conference. The New England Patriots continued their poor season with a shocking 6-0 defeat to the Los Angeles Chargers, while the Pittsburgh Steelers game against the Arizona Cardinals was delayed twice due to severe weather conditions. The Cardinals ultimately won 24-10. The next Republican debate is in Alabama, the state that gave the GOP a roadmap to Donald Trump. The Toronto Star. Republican presidential candidates will debate Wednesday within walking distance of where George Wallace staged his stand in the schoolhouse door to oppose the enrollment of black students at the University of Alabama during the civil rights movement. Former Old Dominion coach Bobby Wilder is Tennessee Tech's new football coach. Yahoo! Former Old Dominion head coach Bobby Wilder has been hired as the new head coach of Tennessee Tech University's football program. Wilder was hired by Old Dominion in 2007 to restart the program after it had been dormant for nearly 70 years. The team finished 9-2 in their first season, making them the NCAA's best-ever first-year program. The team ranked in the top 10 in 5 statistical categories, including second in sacks allowed and third in scoring offense. They sold out all home games and ranked 5th nationally in football championship subdivision attendance. Wilder led the Monarchs to 5 winning seasons and 2 FCS playoff appearances before the program transitioned to Division I. They went 10-3 in 2016, earning a Bahamas Bowl win, but then experienced 3 consecutive losing seasons. Wilder resigned in 2019 after the Monarchs' 1-11 season. He had a 77-56 record at Old Dominion. Tennessee Tech's athletic director believes Wilder is capable of turning around the Golden Eagles program. Michigan State's Dyron Reynolds named new defensive line coach at Arizona State. Yahoo! Dyron Reynolds is set to join Arizona State as the team's new defensive line coach following a year at Michigan State. Reynolds had previously spent a decade coaching the Stanford defensive line, where he coached 4 NFL draft picks and helped the team to lead the NFL in sacks in 2011. Sleep-deprived penguins survive on thousands of naps a day. The Sydney Morning Herald. Penguins are champion power nappers. Over the course of a single day, they fall asleep thousands of times, each about a few seconds long, a new study has found. Although animals have a wide range of sleeping styles, penguins easily take the record for fragmented sleeping. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six from the 6 Degree World, here to bring you the latest news and insights from around the globe. Today, we have quite an eclectic mix of stories, ranging from scientific discoveries to political controversies and even some fascinating tidbits from the world of sports. So, let's dive right in. First up, we have an exciting development in the field of clean energy. Scientists in Lorraine, near the French-German border, have discovered one of the largest deposits of white hydrogen, a clean-burning fuel, in the world. This is a significant finding that adds to the growing evidence that we have a vast source of clean energy buried deep underground. Governments and companies are increasingly turning to hydrogen as a key player in the fight against climate change. However, the process of producing commercial hydrogen usually requires energy, which can result in greenhouse gas emissions. The discovery of natural hydrogen, also known as white hydrogen, presents a potential solution as it is continuously generated by the Earth. Just a fraction of these deposits could provide us with clean energy for hundreds of years. It's an exciting prospect, indeed. On a different note, we have a rather troubling story coming out of Florida. The state's Republican Party chairman, Christian Ziegler, is under investigation following allegations of a rape that occurred during a sexual encounter with another woman. The details are still emerging, but it's a serious matter that highlights the importance of consent and respect in any relationship. We'll have to wait for the investigation to unfold before drawing any conclusions, but it serves as a reminder that we must always prioritize the safety and well-being of others. Shifting gears, let's talk about education. In Maine, there's a proposal to include teaching about genocide, eugenics, and the Holocaust in middle school science education. While the intention behind this proposal is commendable, educators have expressed skepticism, arguing that these topics are sensitive and nuanced, and may not be suitable for the science curriculum. The Maine Science Teachers Association believes that teachers need more training before introducing such topics. It's a valid concern, as we must ensure that our students receive accurate and comprehensive education while also considering the age appropriateness of certain subjects. Now, let's turn our attention to the economy. Economists predict that the U.S. will not enter a recession in 2024, according to a survey conducted by the National Association for Business Economics. Only 24% of the economists surveyed believed a recession was likely. This suggests that economists have faith in the Federal Reserve's ability to control inflation without stifling economic growth. While most economists expect the unemployment rate to increase, it is not expected to exceed 5%. It's a positive outlook for the U.S. economy, but as always, economic predictions should be taken with a grain of salt. On a more uplifting note, let's talk about the Juma people in the Amazon rainforest. Against all odds, this indigenous tribe is making a remarkable comeback. In the late 1990s, they were on the brink of extinction, with only 3 sisters and their father remaining. However, they decided to fight for their survival, and today, they are thriving in their territory. Led by Chief Mandai, the Juma people are taking measures to protect their land and way of life. However, they face threats from land grabbing and illegal deforestation. It's a heartwarming story of resilience and determination, but also a reminder of the ongoing challenges faced by indigenous communities around the world. Now, let's shift gears and talk about a rather intriguing study from Harvard Business School. According to their research, certain physical features or accessories can increase a candidate's chances of being hired. For example, men wearing glasses and with a computer visible in their photo were seen as a better fit for software programming assignments. Similarly, women with reading glasses and an artistic look were perceived as a better fit for graphic design jobs. It's a reminder that first impressions do matter, and paying attention to the details of a profile photo can go a long way in the hiring process. So, next time you update your LinkedIn profile, don't forget to put on your best glasses and smile. Moving on to the world of education, The Telegraph reports that leadership has become so dumbed down that some bosses are being handed 40-page documents telling them how to answer a question. It's a comical yet concerning observation that highlights the need for strong and capable leaders in all sectors. Let's hope that leaders can rely on their own expertise and judgment rather than lengthy instruction manuals. Now, let's talk about China's increasing influence in the Pacific region. The Chinese government is offering aid and investment to countries like the Solomon Islands in exchange for political support and diplomatic recognition. This approach has been successful, as locals welcome the development and view China as a valuable ally. In contrast, Australia's influence in the region is diminishing. The lesson here is that actions speak louder than words, and tangible investments can have a greater impact than abstract aid programs. In the world of sports, we have some exciting matchups coming up. Penn State will be facing Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl, marking their first appearance in this prestigious game. Additionally, the college football playoff will see a clash between Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide and Jim Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines in the Rose Bowl. It's sure to be an intense battle between two powerhouse teams. And in the NFL, we witnessed some dramatic moments in Week 13, including a serious injury on the sidelines and a heated altercation between players and security personnel. Lastly, let's turn our attention to the animal kingdom. Penguins, it turns out, are champion power nappers. A new study has found that penguins fall asleep thousands of times a day, with each nap lasting just a few seconds. It's a fascinating sleeping style that sets them apart from other animals. So, if you ever find yourself in need of a quick power nap, take inspiration from these adorable creatures. That's all for today's news and insights. I hope you found these stories as interesting as I did. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts and questions. What do you make of the potential of white hydrogen as a clean energy source? How do you feel about the inclusion of sensitive topics in school curriculums? And what are your thoughts on China's growing influence in the Pacific? I can't wait to hear your perspectives. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.